the opposition comes together on a platform, and there are many such platforms that are being constructed. One of them being Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who after a Supreme Court verdict has now to face an ordinance that has been passed by your government, which doesn't allow him the leg room to operate as an independent elected government. And that's become a plank on which the opposition is trying to unite, at least in the short term.
No, insofar as the Honorable Chief Minister's Delhi is concerned, I don't think the ordinance wants to deprive him of the ability to work as an independent Chief Minister. I think the ordinance seeks in a very responsible way to circumscribe his interpretation of independence. I mean, at 2:08 in the morning, you raid the office of the Secretary Vigilance, I think Mr. Jaishankar, and because he's conducting an inquiry into the liquor scam and that
Operation Sheesh Mahal.
Aam Aadmi Mahal, which is built on 20,000 square feet using the world's most expensive, interiors. And you remove files from there over a period of 38 to 40 minutes, take them into a neighboring room, photocopy them. There's a shredding machine there, you shred them. Now, if you need to pass an ordinance to prevent stuff like that happening, for no other reason I would recommend it. But by the way, the Congress party, listen to the statement of the son of the erstwhile chief minister. He said, how can you allow this to happen here? Now, he's been around long enough for people to judge him on what he has been doing for the last 10, 11 years. So I have written about it extensively. So you have for want of a better word, a political startup which has now graduated into full-blown anarchy. And I choose my words carefully. Full-blown anarchy, where if you, agar aapke ishare pe koi chal nahi raha Delhi mein, and you have a government in Punjab, and somebody has a relative there, just lock them up there. Or once they send their cops from Punjab here to pick up somebody from his home inside Delhi. Now, is this democratic governance? I mean, it's like somebody who doesn't know the ABC of political power and says, well, I couldn't exercise it in Delhi because I'm ring-fenced and, law and order here. And therefore, now I've got something in Punjab, and you go and run amok. I've said this, I've written letters on all the central government schemes. Wherever Mr. Kejriwal gets involved, we have the worst performance registered. And I think it comes from the fact that their approach to governance is quite antithetical or opposed to what needs to be done. So if you ask for freebies, when they assumed power, officially the debt was 3,81,000 crores. If it is 6 lakh crores, so what? So what? Let the center give us the money. That's the approach.
Mr. Puri, let me ask you a question on the new parliament, the Central Vista plan that your government has, the renaming of the Rajpath to Kartavya Path. Many people have called it a vanity project in the past. I see you sighing there and absolutely exasperated. But
I think it's non-serious. You had what is called a delimitation exercise, which has to be done by 2026. We're already in 2023. Half the year is gone. A new, larger parliament had to be built. It's not a matter of choice. I think successive Congress governments have said and articulated the need for a larger parliament. Shrimati Meera Kumar, my erstwhile colleagues in the Foreign Service, when she was Speaker, her secretary wrote to the Secretary of Urban Development. All the letters are in the public domain. Mr. Jairam Ramesh has articulated this. Mr. Shashi Tharoor on a visit to Malaysia, I think, when he saw their parliament, said, I wish we had one like this. So the parliament, a larger parliament to reflect the new India, to reflect the requirements, that was an imperative. On top of that, we are spending what 1,000 crores of rupees by way of rent to house government buildings when government is a landowner. Now, why was this not done earlier? I think that is a more appropriate question. Insofar as vanity project, if the vanity is about the Shishmal, I don't know, but as a whole, I mean, I see people, look, the parliament is being built for the next 50, 100 or 200 years. And the expenditure which is being quoted is a pittance. The popular estimate on the parliament is ki pata nahi ye itne hazar crore ki hai, etc.
20,000 crore is
20,000 crore is a figure which has been going around. After we come to the tendered cost, this is not parliament ki, it's entire Central Vista ki. Entire Central Vista means usme कर्तव्य पथ है, सारी जो गवर्नमेंट बिल्डिंग्स दिल्ली में सब जगह है, they will be in 8 executive blocks. There's a vice president's house. It'll have the defense enclave. It will have the prime minister's house, all that milake. And we don't know whether it's 20,000 or it's 16,000, 17. It'll be dependent on the tendered cost. जो parliament की बात कर रहे हैं, which now they are saying yes, but दिखने में तो अच्छी है. Under technological वो जो है, and it reclaims that 7,000-year-old civilizational ethos. What?
उसको
No,
तो
Sanatani parampara. Okay, number one. And ancient Indian architectural, this thing. Call it what you like, Vastu, etc. And what a controversy they tried to produce. Let me tell you. They said, ये जो Sengol है ना, ये वो जो Adheenam है वो Brahmin है. So somebody had to tell them, ये Brahmin नहीं है भाई. उनको पता ही नहीं है, ये Brahmin नहीं है भाई. अच्छा, जब पता लगा, they withdrew very quickly. और फिर कहा, अच्छा, वो हिंदू अखबार जो है, I'm not naming anybody, but that Hindu newspaper is normally the custodian of the intellectual life of the city of Chennai now. They had to fact check themselves. By the way, I found an article which had appeared in the New York Times magazine on 25th August 1947. I tweeted that also. देखिए ऐसा है, the Sengol is all about rule by Dhamma, so that whoever has the power to take decisions will take those decisions in the interest of the people, and that there will be equity, there will be justice. अच्छा, आपकी 1200-1300 करोड़ की पार्लियामेंट बन गई और हल्ला आपने 10,000 करोड़ का बना दिया पार्लियामेंट का. मैं तो कह रहा हूं टोटल प्रोजेक्ट नहीं है उतना जितना ये बोल रहे हैं. सो सरेआम ये लोग झूठ बोलते हैं. एंड एज आई थिंक माय टैगलाइन इज थिएटर ऑफ द एब्सर्ड. समझ नहीं है क्या बोल जाते हैं, फिर विड्रॉ कर जाते हैं, और एट द एंड ऑफ द डे they will join in the celebrations. But when they will join in the celebrations is also a question of what kind of response they will get from the people. So I think how many times a year does he go abroad?
your government would know better than you.
I wouldn't know. How would I know?
They keep.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he travels in the direction of Southeast Asia and West of Asia. Wonderful. But I think we might reach a stage where if we were to make these outlandish statements here, वहाँ पे भी था, वहाँ पे भी suddenly talked to minorities and all hell broke loose. You know, some of those guys, inspired agents, stood up and did this. So I think this is really the theater of the absurd.